Michigan fans, Michigan women's hockey is live and on the air. We are live at Yost Ice Arena, high atop, looking down on the senior night celebration, as it is your Michigan women's hockey team here at Yost taking on Grand Valley State University for a home and home, the second half of a home and home, as the Wolverines able to win yesterday. We'll talk more about that later. That was a 4-1 win at Grand Valley State. As right now, though, we have the senior celebration coming up as big hugs happening and the team getting lined up. They have a carpet down below as all of the players getting set for this senior celebration. Always a bittersweet moment, a moment where we get to celebrate the careers of a number of amazing Wolverines, but know that we don't get to see them play in the maize and blue much longer, and we treasure every moment that we've got to spend with these fantastic players. We know they're going to go on to do some amazing things as they will be getting a degree from the best university in the world. As all the Wolverines lined up on the blue line. They have a nice carpet coming out as the parents coming into the penalty box beneath us. As I'm going to be reading, I think it's going to be a little tough for you to hear the public address announcer. So first is Annabelle Levinson. She served as team treasurer for 2 seasons. She's an English major with an applied statistics minor. Plans for after graduation, working in research in New York City and planning to go to grad school for an MPH in epidemiology. Favorite memory while on the team, going on the team trips and taking ASU to overtime in the last few seconds. Family and friends on the ice, Dad Richard and Mom Felicia. As they're getting wonderful pictures there, beautiful moment with Annabelle Levinson. Next up is number 21, Jordan Eliason. Jordan Eliason is an assistant captain as She has a biopsychology, cognition, and neuroscience major with a minor in Chinese. Her plans after graduation are to have a research position in behavioral sciences with a focus in adolescents with autism to gain more experience prior to grad school. Her favorite memory with the team was singing All Too Well on the tiny bus in the middle of the night after a game. Parents with Jordan on the ice are her parents, Eric and Lindsay, brothers Dylan and Marcus. Thank you so much, Jordan Eliason. Wonderful moment with the family there. Next up is number 24, Aaron Proctor. Aaron was a cellular molecular biomedical science major with a minor in computer science. Her plans after graduation are to attend medical school. Her favorite memory, with the team was late night grinds at the study lounge with the team. Family and friends with Aaron on the ice are her parents, Linda and Brian Proctor. Thank you so much, Aaron. By the way, I just want to point out, not only are these players a lot more athletic than me, they're obviously much smarter looking at these wonderful degrees they're getting from the University of Michigan. Next is Mickey Rubin, number 25. Mickey served as the captain and travel coordinator this season. She has a nursing major with a global health minor. Her plans after graduation is traveling over the summer before moving back to Philadelphia and becoming a pediatric nurse. Her favorite memory with the team for Mickey is the team throwing me a surprise birthday party last year. I felt very loved and grateful for the new memory with the team. Family and friends on the ice with Mickey are her dad, Daniel, and mom, Christian. Anything else, she says she can't wait to come and visit next year, and shout out to 1021 Church Street. Next senior is Jamie McCarthy, number 39. She served as a travel coordinator this season. Her major is an English major with minors in performance, arts management, and entrepreneurship. Her plans after graduation for Jamie is working on a novel and finding an editorial job. Her favorite memory on the team is Mariana's fish. Family and friends with Jamie on the ice is her dad, Slim Mike, and looks like anything else she says, go blue. Thank you so much, Jamie. Next is number 40, Mariah Evans. She served as the team president this season as well as one of our assistant captains. Her major is organizational studies, major with a minor in social class and in equity studies. Her plans after graduation are to start her career in positive organizational development in Metro Detroit area. Her favorite memory with the team is the time spent on the bus to away games, playing photo roulette, making PowerPoints, and eating rest stop food. Family and friends with Mariah on the ice is her mom, Heidi, dad, Doug, sister, Madison, and brother, Lucas. Thank you, Mariah. Next up is number 55, Lydia Forehand. She served as one of the 3 assistant captains this season. Lydia's major is a secondary education major with a focus in English and a German minor. Her plans after graduation, she'll probably take a really long nap. After that, she will be working as an English teacher in a middle or high school somewhere. Her favorite memory while on the team, freshman year in Colorado, we had some extra time one night, so some of us snuck out to Chuck E. Cheese. The employees informed us that they close in 20 minutes, but we told them not to worry about it. We all split one game card, so we were sprinting around, passing off the card and playing as many games as possible to win as many tickets as we could in 20 minutes so that we could buy temporary tattoos at the little counter at the end. I don't remember in 20 minutes what we did, but I do remember we got the temporary tattoos, so we won those, and she doesn't remember exactly how the games went that weekend. On the ice with her is her mom, Jan, dad, Craig, and I don't believe her brothers made it out there. We would also like to recognize another senior who could not be here tonight, Sophie Williams, who served as Vice President and Social Media Coordinator this season. She did such an amazing job on the social media. We are so grateful. She majored in English and Literature and plans to pursue a career in sports social media coordination. I think she's going to be great at it. Her favorite memory while on the team was our Traverse City tournament last season. We would like to congratulate all the seniors in Team 27. Would like to thank them for all their hard work. We wish you the best of luck in the future. And forever, go blue! As the seniors come out, they'll get some pictures taken together as they skate over. It's a fantastic set of seniors, and we are so grateful for them for their time with this team, and we've got to broadcast the majority of their games, and it is a privilege and an honor. So as they go through that information, let's get into a little pre-game as our camera will continue to focus on the amazing seniors. But let's go over some information. Michigan now 17-4-2 on the season with the win versus Grand Valley over at Griff's Georgetown 4-1 yesterday. So that means that Michigan starting back off on the winning ways after their fourth loss in the entire season. That last Sunday, 1-0 to Adrian. So Michigan trying to start off a good winning streak here and try and finish off this game and the last two with wins here at Yost Ice Arena. All the rest of the games are here at Yost Ice Arena. Let's talk about that upcoming schedule. Let me pull up that graphic. As we have the game today, obviously, games start to 3:30 and versus Grand Valley. So we are just about 20 minutes away from puck drop. Then next weekend, you still have a couple chances to check out the team at Yost Ice Arena as the women's team will be back in action February 12th. That's going to be next Saturday, 3:30 Eastern Time. That'll be versus Concordia of Ann Arbor. Then they finish off the regular season here at Yost Ice Arena February 19th as they will be hosting Michigan State University. They tied in the first game versus each other. That was up in Mount Clemens. And then they bookend the season with the game versus Michigan State University, 3:30 on the 19th. Please come out and cheer on the team. We'd love to see as many people as we can for all three of those games today and the next two games, especially that season capper versus Michigan State. Then, on February 24th, we head out to the Crystal Palace out in Burton as it is the CCWHA tournament. That will start off Friday depending on whether Michigan is the 2 or 3 seed. Will depend on whether they play the 5:30 game on that Friday or the later, I believe it's an 8 o'clock game on that Friday. We will have that entire tournament for you no matter what. Then if Michigan wins the first day, they will advance to play as the 2 number 1 seeds get a bye to day 2. That's absolutely going to be Adrian on the East Pod and Indiana Tech on the West Pod, although Indiana Tech with a big sweep of Adrian this weekend, so we'll see how that plays out in the tournament. But if Michigan can win on Friday, they will play most likely Indiana Tech on February 25th. As that will be a huge matchup. Again, they played last season in the CCWHA playoffs. Indiana Tech able to win that one. Michigan will look for a huge upset. But they have to advance Friday to play Saturday. And then on Sunday, it will be the CCWHA D1 and D2 championship games on that Sunday. So come on out, check that out, as we would love to see folks out there and cheering on the team. So let us remove that and take a look at a little bit about that game yesterday. 4-1 Michigan with the win. That over at Griff's Georgetown, home of the Grand Valley State University team. Both teams scored in the first. It was Grand Valley scoring first, then Michigan tied it up in the last minute of the first period. Michigan scored twice in the second to go up 3-1 at the end of 2, and then they chipped in one more in the third to win 4-1. Shots on goal 41 for Michigan, 21 for Grand Valley State. On the penalty, Michigan 2 for 6 on the power play. They had served 10 penalty minutes on 5 infractions. Grand Valley State was 0 for 3 on the power play, serving 16 minutes on 8 infractions. In the first, it was Rubsum scoring her third goal of the season at 2:14 for Grand Valley. Broshwitz had her 15 assists on that goal, and Grand Valley took the early lead. Then at 19:09, it was Evans scoring as Simmer set her up, and Evans raced down the far side. Simmer coming up the near side, and Evans faked the pass to Simmer, fired it in. I thought that Sammy Schultz had actually stopped it, but it slipped in and goal and tied up. So Mariah Evans with a huge goal to get it to 1-1 at the end of one. Penalties in the first. Hancock went off for tripping for 2 minutes. That at 3:56, and Swanson went off for roughing at 11:15. In the second, it was Gargiulo with her 7th goal of the season at 1 minute 41 seconds into the second. Bryce with her 5th assist of the season, and Michigan went out to a 2-1 lead. Then with 12:56 left to go in the second, Gargiulo with her 2nd goal of the game, so she had a brace. She has that was her 8th goal of the season. Proctor with the assist, her 7th assist on the season. That was a power play goal for Michigan. Penalties in the second. Ortiz went off for Grand Valley. That 2 minutes for tripping. That at 11:26. Then Lefevre went off for tripping at 13:27 for Grand Valley State. Then at 16:54, Ceballos went off for Michigan for tripping. In the third, it was Erin Proctor scoring her 6th goal of the season, power play goal. It was unassisted to put the lead at 4-1, and that was the final tally of the game. Lots of penalty actions in the third. At 1:02, both Rubin and Ortiz went off for roughing, so we had some 4-4 hockey. Then at 7:18, Swanson and Plowman went off for roughing. Again, we had 4-on-4 hockey. At 11:02, Hancock went off for a cross check. At 12:33, Izzy German went off for interference. At 13:44, Sprott went off for roughing. And at 17:47, Sprott went off for slashing. Pontiff got the win, facing 21 shots on goal, saving 20 of them. Sammy Schultz had the loss, facing 41 shots on goal, saving 37 of those in the loss. Taking a look at your top offensive leaders for Michigan. Lindahl continues with the lead, 20 points on 14 goals and 6 assists. Swanson is tied with Gargiulo for a second with 15 points. Swanson has 9 goals and 6 assists. Gargiulo with 15 points as well on 8 goals and 7 assists. With 14 points is Mariah Evans. She has 8 goals and 6 assists. And then at the 5th spot, we have 4 players, as Proctor has 13 points with 6 goals and 7 assists. Katie German has 13 points on 6 goals and 7 assists. Simmer has 13 points on 6 goals and 7 assists. And Rubin has 13 points on 4 goals and 9 assists. So the quartet tied up at the number 5 spot. Taking a look at the goalkeeper statistics for Pontiff, amazing as always, as she has a 1.43 goals against average and a 9.51 save percentage, as that goes up a 100th of a tick at the bottom end. So Pontiff continuing to have what I believe is the lead league in save percentage, and I can probably check that out if I go to all teams and I search by save percentage, and you take out the people who have 100, and yes, Pontiff does have, she's tied with Sarah Matthews of University of Massachusetts Amherst. They both have a 9.51 save percentage. Pontiff has played 23 games, and Matthews has played 9 games. Everyone else who has a higher percentage has only played a game or 2. Taking a look at the schedule for Grand Valley State. So Michigan winning yesterday, and Grand Valley was coming off of a nice win streak as they had beaten Davenport as well as Concordia, so they were on a 4-game win streak. Michigan stopped that with a 4-1 win. as since the calendar year began, they faced Grand Valley, dropped a game to McKendree University 9-2. Then they were beaten by Marysville back on the 14th of January 3-1. They did beat Concordia on the 20th 4-3. Then beat Concordia in a home, so they swept that on January 21st. That was 9-1. Grand Valley getting the wins. Then they had a home versus Davenport on the 27th and 28th, and Grand Valley shut out Davenport. Both games 9-0 shutout the first evening, and 5-0 shutout the second evening. Before going into the Michigan game, where Michigan won 4-1. Taking a look at the statistics for Grand Valley, leading offensive statistics, Sprott still leads the way, 27 points net on 14 goals and 13 assists. Broschwitz, number 2, with 25 points on 10 goals and 15 assists. And is Sprott, by the way, number 20. Broschwitz, number 9. Lefevre, number 12, is tied for the third spot with 17 points. She has 9 goals and 8 assists. Angie Schultz, number 17, also has 17 points, tied with the third spot, 6 goals and 11 assists. And then checking in the fifth spot is Scram, who has 16 points on 7 goals and 9 assists. For the goalkeeper statistics, we saw Sammy Schultz yesterday. She has played 16 of the games, as Hundley has played 6 of the games. Sammy Schultz 6-10 on the season. She has a 3.77 goals against average and a 9.09 save percentage. On the other side, Hundley has a 3.08 goals against average and 9.03 save percentage. As that is your pregame statistics. We have a little bit of time before puck drop. Let's play a little bit of the Michigan Marching Band, and then we will come back. Actually, you know what? Let us talk a little bit. There we go. Let's actually talk a little bit about, if I can refresh this. We talked about the upcoming schedule. Let's actually talk about where things are at with the ACHA. As taking a look at the top 10 ACHA, Liberty still number 1. These haven't changed since yesterday, and the records here are obviously as of last Monday when they put this out. But Liberty number 1, they have 15 wins, 2 losses. They were previously number 1 last week. Adrian at the number 2 spot. That might change as they got swept by Indiana Tech this weekend on a home. Adrian, before this weekend, was 19-5-0 at the number 2 spot. Midland at number 3 with 18 wins, 5 losses, 2 ties. They were previously at the number 4 spot, so they bump up 1. At number 4 is Minot State University, 14 wins, 8 losses, 1 tie. They were previously number 3, so Midland and Minot just flipped. Indiana Tech will probably be on their way up, as they were number 5 on the rankings, but having 2 wins versus number 2 team should send them up at least 1 ranking, as they have 22 wins, 4 losses, and no ties. They were 5th last ranking. Michigan, number 6, checking in at number 6. They were 7th in the last ranking, so they bumped up 1 spot, 16-4-2. Here are the Michigan Wolverines, obviously now 17-4-2 after yesterday. McKendree is at the number 7 spot. They have 11 wins, 5 losses, and 2 ties. They were at number 6, so they dropped down 1. They flip positions with Michigan. Number 8 is Miami University. They were number 8 last week. They have 13 wins, 7 losses, 2 ties. Number 9 is Maryville. They were number 9 last week, 11 wins, 12 losses, 3 ties for Maryville. And rounding out the top 10 is Arizona State. They stay ranked at number 10 from last week. They have 12 wins, 4 losses, and 1 tie. I believe we'll go over the scoreboard report. I believe they actually were playing Michigan State this weekend, and I don't remember if they won both of those games. We'll talk about that during our first intermission. So that's your top 10, and then let's take a look at the East and West pods for the CCWHA. Now, I did my best. This was updated by the CCWHA back on Monday. I did my best to try and update this for action I saw yesterday and Friday. So it is not official, but as close as I can get it. Adrian, on the east side of the pod, no one's going to be able to catch Adrian. They have 26 points on 13 wins and 2 losses, no ties. They're number 1 in the east pod. They get a bye to the second day, to Saturday in the CCWHA tournament. Michigan trying to hold on to that number 2 spot. They have 7 wins, 3 losses, 1 tie in CCWHA action, 15 points, 2 ahead of Michigan Dearborn. Michigan Dearborn in the number 3 spot. They have 6 wins, 6 losses, 1 tie for 13 points. It's the top 3 that go for each pod to the CCWHA tournament. Number 2 and number 3 play on Friday. And number 4 is Michigan State, so they just flipped positions with Michigan Dearborn, who had CCWHA games this weekend. Michigan State 4, 6, and 2 on the season. They have 10 points tied with Concordia, who has 10 points on 5 wins, 10 losses, and 2 ties at the number 5 spot. At number 6 is Penn State, 3 wins, 11 losses, no ties. They have 6 points. Over on the West Pod, Indiana Tech has punched their ticket to the second day, as they will get the bye as the top seed in the West. Number 2 is Miami University. They have 10 wins, 4 losses, no ties with 20 points. As things stand right now, it would be Miami University versus Michigan Dearborn. And then number 3, Grand Valley State. They are in the number 3 spot, 7 wins, 6 losses, no ties, 14 points. They would be playing Michigan in the first Friday. Of course, we have a couple more weekends to go, so things can change. Aquinas trying to sneak into that 3rd spot. They are 5 wins, 7 losses, no ties. They have 10 points, 4 points behind Grand Valley State. Lake Superior checks in at the number 5 spot, 4 wins, 8 losses, no ties for 8 points. And Davenport at the number 6 spot, no wins, 15 losses, no points. So that is your standing. So as things stand right now, Adrian and Indiana Tech have their tickets punched to Saturday at the CCWHA tournament. It would be Michigan Ann Arbor versus Grand Valley in day 1, and Michigan Dearborn versus Miami University in day 1, but still a lot of hockey as yet to be played. As everyone getting warmed up, let's play a little bit of the Michigan Marching Band, and we will be right back with your starting lineups. as they're getting the ice resurfaced, if you want to check out more about the upcoming CCWHA playoffs, go to d1.ccwha.net. And on the main page, they talk about the upcoming schedule. Again, we will broadcast all the games from the Crystal Fieldhouse in Burton, Michigan, as it is February 24th through 26th. On Friday, February 24th, at 5:30, the East Pod number 2, which would be Michigan Ann Arbor right now, will play West Pod number 3, which would be Grand Valley State right now. That'd be 5:30 again. All things subject to change. Then at 8:30, West Pod number 2, which would be Miami University, would play East Pod number 3, which would be Michigan Dearborn, if the standings stay set. Michigan State was previously in number 3. Michigan Dearborn had some CCWHA games this weekend, so they popped in. Then on Saturday, the 25th, at 2:45 p.m., it will be the top from the East, which would be Adrian, versus the winner from Friday's game. Typically, that would be versus the West Pod winner. And then at 1 o'clock, so these two games happen concurrently. We'll have all be on one, the call for one of the game. Then we'll have some other people mainly calling out, doing minor play-by-play on the other one. That'll be at 1 o'clock. That will be the top West team, which would be Indiana Tech, versus the winner from Friday's game. So if at all possible, it will be the top team of the East versus the West, a top team from the West versus a team from the East. If the West wins both of them, or if the East wins both of them, then they will just take the overall top team versus the lower team. Then on Sunday, the 26th, it is the championship game at 9:45 a.m. All times are tentative, and finer minor adjustments may occur. All times are puck drop, and the teams take the ice half an hour beforehand. So we will have our coverage of those games. Last season, it was Michigan State beating Grand Valley State on Friday, and Miami University falling to University of Michigan, the women's team, as that was Proctor who came down and fired in the overtime shot to win it for Michigan 3-2. They advanced the next game. Adrian beat Michigan State that next day. On Saturday the 26th, they won 9-0. Indiana Tech beat the University of Michigan. That was 3-0. And then it was Adrian beating Indiana Tech in the championship game 5-0. Although this past weekend, Indiana Tech beat Adrian both at home and away. So we'll see how that works. So you can always take a look out there. They do have standings. They were last updated a week ago on the 30th. So they should be updated after this weekend as well. You can take a look at the schedule, league news, and more. So check that out. We'll also have the D2 going on out there as well. So we'll broadcast the D2 games as well. So we're looking forward to that. Amazing time out at the Crystal Fieldhouse in Burton. Come on down, watch a lot of great hockey. We can't wait for it as the officials back out on the ice, getting things set as they get the nets on their moorings. Both teams getting last-minute instructions. Michigan won yesterday 4-1. They're looking to have a very successful senior day, whereas Grand Valley would like to play spoilers on senior day, get a big win, and try and secure their number 3 spot, trying to hold off Aquinas, who played Miami University this weekend. Miami University winning both of those games. As we are about to get going, 5 minutes and counting. Let's just play just a little bit more music, and then we will be back. At our first intermission, we'll have our ACHA intermission scoreboard reports, and then we will have our Michigan scoreboard report at the second intermission. Couple big basketball games going on as Michigan versus Ohio State from Chrysler earlier, and Michigan women playing at Michigan State, as that should have tipped off about 3 o'clock, I believe. as both teams have come out, we're about to get ready with your starting lineups. Again, if you're just tuning in and missed the senior celebration, the game will be on demand about 5 minutes after we end the game. So you can go back and check out that senior celebration. Wonderful, wonderful time celebrating the amazing seniors for this 2022-2023 season.
This is the second of a two-game series between these teams. Yesterday's game was on GBS's home ice, and the Wolverines left victorious with a final score of 4-1. Today's game here at Yost is sure to be exciting. Now for our starting lineups. For GBSC, at right wing, number 10, Abby Russell.
As Roopsum heads out onto the ice. As Lefevre heads out. Broshwitz comes out starting, as it's a little hard to hear the public broadcast announcer with the echoing. Ortiz skates out to the blue line starting for Grand Valley. Angie Schultz and Sammy Schultz as Grand Valley State University in their dark blue jerseys with the JV on the front, numbers on the back and on the sleeves. Now for Michigan. Skating out is Levinson to the blue line. Forehand, the other defenders starting for Michigan. Now coming out at the forward position, Rubin. Next, skating out to the blue line is Proctor. And finally wrapping out that front line is McCarthy. And they're just doing all the seniors, by the way, sorry. Also out there is Evans. And all the wonderful rest of the Wolverines coming out. Head coach for Grand Valley State University is Brandon Rombor. Assistant coach is Allie Kennedy. We'll talk about the Michigan coaches next. Here's the national anthem. Fantastic rendition of the Star Spangled Banner as always, as we're about to get ready. Grand Valley State around their coaching benches. Michigan coaches, head coach Jenna Tribbiano. Assistant coaches are Ned Glisson, Carrie Inman, and Joe Upton. We thank all those wonderful unpaid volunteer coaches who work so hard with this CCWHA team. As Michigan heads over to the bench to get those famous winged helmets on. Michigan in their home white jerseys with the maize in blue across the sleeves and the middle, numbers in dark blue on the back with their names, block M on the left sleeve, numbers on the right sleeve, and they have Michigan across the front in block lettering with their number. Again, Grand Valley in their dark blue jerseys, numbers in white on the back and on the sleeves, GV on the front. Michigan going left to right here in this the opening period. Big CCWHA points on the line. Both teams trying to make sure to secure their spot into the CCWHA playoffs coming up in Burton at the Crystal Fieldhouse. Face off right at center, looking down here on Yost Ice Arena. Gargiulo in to take the face off. Lefevre on the other side. As that puck in along the far boards, brought ahead as Levinson feeds it into the Grand Valley zone. Lakers move it over Lefevre, over her own blue line. Lefevre sends it through the neutral zone. Here comes Broschwitz, who gains the Michigan zone. Broschwitz on the far circle, firing it right out in front into the crease. And a save by Poneth. Grand Valley quickly getting a shot. 19:42 left to go here in the first, scoreless so far between these two teams. Face-off will be DePonet's left in the far. Face-off circle Matthews versus Lefevre. And puck, top of the far circle now. Michigan sends it over their own blue line. Simmer coming down the near boards of the neutral zone. Simmer, top of the near circle in the Lakers zone. That shot deflects along the far boards. Back to the far point, held in by Michigan as they get it in the high slot. Now here comes Broschwitz through the neutral zone for Grand Valley. Broschwitz, top of the far circle. Broschwitz tries to cut into the crease. Save by Poneth. The puck in the far corner. Now Evans tips it into the neutral zone. And picked up by Ulowitz. Banked all the way back to the Grand Valley blue line, gathered up there by Ortiz. Ortiz trying to avoid Simmer's pressure. The puck in along the near board. Scram feeds it ahead. Into the Michigan zone it goes. That shot goes wide into the far corner. Levinson picks it up outside the far circle of her own zone. Centering attempt. Forehand puts it back behind her own goal. The puck right onto the near circle. That knocked away from Sprott to the near point. As Ulowitz trying to keep it in. That pulled away. Here comes Lindahl down the near boards of the neutral zone. Lindahl trying to get it away from Sprott. Sprott fires it right back into the neutral zone. Sprott picks it up, top of the near circle of her own zone, fires it into the neutral zone as Levinson puts it right back into the Laker end. Gathered up, fired down the near boards as Ulowitz trying to fire it away. That gathered up. Now coming ahead with it is Plowman, who puts it down the far boards. Right to the blue line for the Lakers. Bringing ahead is McCallion. That deflects right to the Michigan blue line. Here comes Gargiulo, puts it down the near boards in the Lakers zone. Rubin into the near corner. Rubin shot and saved by Sammy Schultz. The puck top of the far circle in the Lakers zone. Now here comes Gargiulo, tipped back, and Hastings fires it all the way back into the Michigan end. McCallion picks it up back behind her own goal. McCallion coming underneath the near circle in the Michigan end. McCallion over her own blue line, down the near boards. McCallion gains the Lakers zone. McCallion with the shot. That got deflected by Angie Schultz as the puck outside the near circle. Proctor trying to feed it ahead. That picked up by Hancock. Hancock over her own blue line, coming down the far boards of the neutral zone. Hancock fires it deep into the Michigan end. Poneth puts it outside the far circle. Levinson trying to chip it ahead. Here comes Evans. Evans right in front of her own bench through the neutral zone. That tipped ahead to Matthews. Knocked away by the Lakers. Staby trying to get it in the neutral zone. Now fired right back into the Lakers zone by Michigan. Staby fires it all the way through the neutral zone. Izzy German gathers it up top of the far circle of her own zone. Evans moves it forward. Here comes Michigan through the neutral zone. Backhanded over to Simmer. Simmer top of the near circle in the Lakers end. That deflects right back behind the Lakers goal into the near corner. Ortiz fires it back behind. Outside the far circle, bringing it ahead are the Lakers, held in by Simmer, who puts it into the far corner. Ortiz has it underneath the near circle of her own zone. Fires it along the far board. Janzi Schultz right back over to Ortiz on the far side of her own zone. Now she rims it all the way back to the near point. Held in there by Levinson. Swanson trying to tip it high slot. That move by Malashevsky, but pulled away. The Lakers coming down the far boards. Angie Schultz couldn't quite get it out of the zone. Now Broschwitz tips it to the neutral zone. The puck gathered up by Izzy German. Izzy German coming down the far boards and fires it into the Lakers' end. Stopped there by Sammy Schultz. She leaves it for Angie Schultz into the far corner. That puck down the near boards of the neutral zone, back to the Michigan blue line. McCarthy with it there. McCarthy into the neutral zone. That tipped by Grand Valley, now gathered up. Here comes Gargiulo. Or Swanson, excuse me. Swanson fires it deep. That right back behind the Lakers' goal into the far corner. Schramm coming down the far boards of her own end. Now McCallion puts it back to center ice. McCarthy moves it over on the far boards. Katie German tries to set up the Michigan attack. The puck over to McCarthy, down the near boards of the neutral zone, fires it back to Gargiulo in her own end. Now coming down the far boards, Katie German for the Wolverines, fires it right to center ice. Gathered up by Sprott, now the Lakers come down the near boards. Coming in with it is McCallion outside the near circle into the near corner. McCallion right back behind the Michigan goal. Out into the slot, shot saved by Poneth. Oh, a wicked shot from the slot, I believe. That was Sprott taken away. Good job by Poneth. The puck in along the near boards of the neutral zone. Gargiulo has it at her own blue line. Trying to get it ahead to Proctor, but that's sent right into the Michigan zone. Top of the near circle. Katie German trying to avoid pressure. Sprott coming in. Shot. Another save by Poneth. Rubin into the far corner of her own zone. Swings it around the near boards. Here comes Simmer over her own blue line. Simmer coming down the near boards. Gains the Lakers zone. Simmer outside the near circle into the near corner. Simmer goes right back behind the Lakers goal. There's a shot by Matthews. Got deflected. Backhand by Matthews. Another shot by Simmer. Just goes wide. Riva puts it outside the far circle. Michigan trying to get another shot and a save by Sammy Schultz. Oh, a bevy of shots by the Wolverines, and Sammy Schultz able to keep the clean sheet so far. 14:32 left to go in the first. Scoreless so far. Face-off in the far face-off circle. Matthews in to take the face-off. As on the other side, Hancock right in. Simmer has it tipped away into the far corner. Plowman rims it around the Lakers zone. Forehand outside the near circle, puts it right back behind the Lakers goal. Now Evans outside the far circle. That grab, Des Griebeck moves it to Staby right at her own blue line, now down the near boards of the neutral zone. Right back into the Lakers end. Riva gets it to Staby. Staby right to center ice. Now that fired the other direction as Swanson picking it up for Michigan. Over center ice, coming down is Kolwich into the Lakers zone. Kolwich on the slot. That gets poked away. Rubsum has it knocked by Lindahl in along the M boards. Lindahl underneath the near circle. That all the way back to Kolwich. Top of the far circle shot. That comes over along the near boards of the Lakers end. That put up high and into the stands as someone gets up. Puck out there as thankfully it didn't hit any of the wonderful crowd down below us, as we appreciate everyone who came in to celebrate this senior night for the Maize and Blue. As Ceballos in to take the face-off in the near face-off circle in the Lakers end. That to the left of Sammy Schultz as the officials get another puck. Trying to see, I think that is Hancock on the other side. Indeed it is. Christensen right back behind Ceballos, Manning to her left. That puck gathered up around the near boards. Riva sends it right back behind her goal. Now, Rubsum down the far boards, over her own blue line. Rubson into the neutral zone. Manning trying to get it over to Christensen. That deflects as Izzy German puts it down the near boards of the neutral zone. Christensen gains the Lakers zone. Shot, that got deflected right off of Riva. Now Izzy German underneath the near circle. That puck into the near corner. Ceballos over to Christensen. The puck loose on the near circle as the Lakers grab it. Hancock gets it back out into the neutral zone. Izzy German resets right at center ice down the near boards. Izzy German back to her own blue line. Izzy German for the Wolverines. Fires it deep into the Laker end as it goes right back behind Sammy Schultz. Into the near corner. Riva moves it over to Broshwitz. Broshwitz cuts right in front of her own goal, fires it down the far boards as Gargiulo trying to pull that away loose. Top of the far circle, racing over, trying to get to it. That through the slot and pulled away by the Lakers as Lefevre sends it all the way to the Michigan blue line. That banked ahead. Riva has it on the near circle of the Lakers zone. Bank back to the neutral zone. Now coming in, Levinson trying to fire it deep. Riva picks it up on the near circle of her own end. Now Plowman coming down the far boards over her own blue line. Trying to chip it right back in is Gargiulo. Here comes Proctor on the far circle. Proctor, backhanded shot. Oh, right through the crease. The puck outside the near circle. Gargiulo with it. Knocked back to the near point. Levinson backhands it into the near corner of the Lakers zone. Riva has it knocked away. The puck outside the near circle. Proctor goes for a spill as that puck back to the near point. Levinson again holds it in and fires it deep in along the M boards. Riva right back behind her own goal. Gathers that up into the far corner as the Lakers trying to get it out of the zone as tipped by Matthews. Now it heads out in front of the Lakers bench. Back to the Michigan blue line. Gathered up there, quick fired ahead. Here comes Simmer over into the Lakers zone. Riva knocks it right back into the neutral zone. Coming down the far boards is Scram. Scram gains the Michigan zone. That shot just wide as Poneth directed it along the near boards. Simmer tries to get it out of her own zone. Sprott holds it in at the near point. Now Levinson gets it ahead to Matthews. Matthews fires it back. Poneth stops it right back behind her own goal. That picked up down the far boards and fired ahead as that'll go all the way back into the Lakers' end, and that'll be icing. 11:15 left to go here in the first. Scoreless so far. Face-off back into the Michigan end in the far face-off circle, as that is to Poneth's left. Oh, they'll bring it over to the near face-off circle. So face-off to Poneth's right. Sprott in to take the face-off versus Matthews. Forehand in along the near boards. That comes back to the near point. Angie Schultz gets it top of the near circle. Sprott high slot in the Michigan zone. Sprott fades over top of the far circle. Good job to block that. Swanson with a block, then shot and a save by Poneth. 11:01 left to go here in the first. Scoreless so far. Face-off now in the far face-off circle. That to Poneth's left. Sprott again in to take the face-off. Matthews on the other side into the far corner. Katie German brings it down the near boards of the Michigan zone. That knocked back into the neutral zone. Here comes Lindahl. Lindahl gains the Lakers zone. Lindahl with a shot. Saved by Sammy Schultz as the puck back to the far point. Trying to hold it in. And she's sitting on the ice as Katie German. And puck deflects back into the neutral zone where Michigan gathers it up forehand. Moves it along the far boards for Katie German. Katie German trying to get it to Malashevsky. That's sent all the way back deep into the Michigan end, but from the wrong side of center ice. That will be icing. 10:31 left to go here in the first. Scoreless so far between Michigan and Grand Valley. Yesterday, Grand Valley scored first, then Michigan tied it up with under a minute left to go in the first. Gargiulo in to take the faceoff versus Sprott. That in the far faceoff circle to Sammy Schultz right. The puck into the far corner as Ortiz moves it around the boards. Now McCallion trying to get it out of the Lakers zone. That held in by Gargiulo, fired into the far corner. Rubin chasing it to try and get it away from Ortiz. Ortiz loses an edge. The puck, as that is going to be a penalty at 10:13. Tripping the call as Rubin into the box. And the Lakers will have the first power play of the game. Face-off in the near face-off circle. That to Poneth's right. The puck in along the near boards. Sprott has it, top of the near circle in the Michigan zone. Sprott fires it top of the far circle over for Broshwood. Sprott gets it back, high slot shot. That got deflected off of Matthews' skates. Now Evans blasted all the way down the ice into the Lakers' end. 1 minute, 40 seconds left to go on the Laker power play. 9:50 left to go here in the first. Here comes Sprott, gains the Michigan zone. Top of the near circle, Sprott. As that goes right to the crease, covered up by Poneth. As Sprott had it, tried to make a move, and it drifted right towards the crease. Poneth able to cover it up. 9:43 left to go here in the first. 1 minute, 30 seconds left to go in the Laker power play. Face-off to Poneth's right in the near face-off circle in the Michigan zone as Lefevre battling Malashevsky. Now McCarthy sends it for a ride around the boards. Stopped at the near point by Sprott. Now on the near circle, Lefevre with it. Wide angle shot goes all the way back to the far point as Sprott couldn't hold it in. The puck in the neutral zone now. Simmer backhands it all the way back deep into the Lakers' end. 1 minute and 8 seconds left to go in the Lakers power play. 9:19 left to go here in the first. Scoreless so far. Lefevre gains the Michigan zone, top of the near circle. Lefevre goes back behind the Michigan goal, trying to fire it into the slot. That pulled away and fired all the way down the ice by Simmer. As the Lakers will have to reset, Michigan gets a line change. 47 seconds left to go in the Lakers power play. 8:58 left to go here in a scoreless first period. Broshwitz brings it over home blue line, over center ice. Broshwitz gains the Michigan zone outside the far circle. Broshwitz loses an edge into the far corner, and that fired all the way down the ice, cleared again by the Wolverines. 27 seconds left in the Laker power play. Picked up by Scram underneath the near circle of her own zone. Scram over own blue line, heads over center ice. Scram gains the Michigan zone. That shot goes just wide to the far side. Banked off the near boards, held in by McCallion at the near point in the Michigan zone. Firing at top of the far circle, Plowman as that covered up by Bonnet. 5 seconds left to go in the power play for the Lakers. 8:18 left to go in the first. Bonnet with another fantastic save. Face off to Bonet's left in the far face-off circle. Gargiulo in to take the face-off. McCallion to her left. In to take the face-off on the other side is McCalling, to the left. McCallion was on the other side. Lakers right back behind the Michigan goal. Top of the near circle. Ortiz with a shot that deflects in along the end boards. McCallion trying to dig it off of the near boards. Michigan back to full strength. Scram with a shot. And into the far corner as Rubsum sends it back to the far point. Shot from the top of the near circle by Ortiz. Here comes Proctor. Michigan over their own blue line. That loose at center ice. Proctor gains his own. Proctor puts it into the near corner of the Lakers' end. Rubin has it there. Gathered up. Plowman trying to get it out of the zone. Held in by Izzy German. Her shot got deflected off of Scram skates. And into the neutral zone. Bringing it ahead is McCallion into the Michigan end. Trying to get it over to Scram. That collected as Rubin has it at her own blue line. Rubin fires it through the neutral zone. Proctor has it banked off the far boards of the neutral zone before she sends it in deep into the Laker end. Michigan gets a line change. 7:17 left to go here in the first. The puck right at the Michigan blue line. Hastings fires it in deep as McCarthy picks it up back behind Pontiff. The puck down the far boards of the Michigan zone as it's sent all the way back. Ulowitz has it at center ice, puts it deep into the near corner of the Michigan zone. Levinson takes it back behind her own goal, trying to avoid pressure by Hastings. The puck loose on the near circle. Here comes Michigan over their own blue line. Christensen has it, gaining the Lakers zone. Christensen, top of the near circle. Levinson trying to get to it. That back to the near point. McCarthy holds it in. Shot! Oh, that deflects. Sammy Schultz with the save. 6:37 left to go here in the first. Levinson holds it in at the near point. Scoreless so far. The puck on the near circle in the Lakers zone as Goldman into the near corner. Centering attempt. And all the way onto the near circle. Staby gets it into the neutral zone for the Lakers. Michigan resets at their own blue line. Katie German moves it ahead through the neutral zone. That loose, gathered up, coming in with it is Matthews. Matthews, top of the far circle. Matthews in along the end boards of the Lakers end. That tipped away as Gibek trying to pull it away. Also, Ulowitz had it. That tipped, and there's going to be a penalty upcoming, tripping the call. That at 6:01 as Grand Valley takes the penalty. Michigan with their first power play of the game as Ulowitz goes into the box. Michigan on the power play, face-off in the near face-off circle. That to Sammy Schultz left in the Lakers zone. The puck in along the end boards. Picked up by Angie Schultz in the near corner, and the Lakers trying to get it high into the neutral zone. Michigan has to reset. Broshwitz providing pressure down the near boards, puts it into the Michigan end. Katie German puts it down the far boards. Matthews trying to get it, but it slips just the wrong side. Now coming in, here comes Swanson. Swanson gains the Lakers zone. Swanson backhands it in along the end boards. And it slips right past back behind Sammy Schultz. To the blue line, Katie German holds it in at the far point. Katie German trying to get it top of the far circle to Lindahl. Lindahl on the near circle. Swanson with a shot, and she scores! Oh, Lindahl from the far circle. Fed Swanson on the near circle, who put it in. And Michigan with the 1-0 lead on the power play goal. Beautiful job moving it from one side of the rink to the other. Sammy Schultz, an excellent goalkeeper, but that's hard to move over like that. And Michigan goes up on the power play, 1-0 at 5:24. At center ice, Matthews wins that back. McCalling has it outside the far circle, trying to get Evans as Lakers have it high slot in the Michigan zone. Riva at the Michigan blue line. Now that shot by Plowman deflected into the far corner. Sprott trying to fire it out in front. McCalling knocking it down as that puck comes outside the far circle. Now grabbed by McCalling. She banks it all the way back to the far point. As Matthews sends it into the neutral zone, Riva picks it up at center ice, trying to get it right back into the Michigan zone. The puck bouncing around center ice. Now here comes Sprott for the Lakers. Deflects right back to the Michigan blue line. Coming down the near boards is Scram. Scram for the Lakers gets it into the Michigan zone. Sprott holds it in at the near point. Now Michigan able to get it out in along the near boards. Kolwich has it. Now Sprott comes right back into the Michigan zone. On the near circle, trying to move it back. Michigan collects it coming down the far boards. McCalling fires it back deep, as that will be icing, and Michigan will have a face-off in their own zone. 4:14 left to go. Just a second. Stop the clock. 4:10 left to go. Sorry, I just had to yell at the clock operator. They do a really good job, but they have a lot of things going on back there. Face-off in the far face-off circle. And to Pontus. Now they'll move it over to Pontus right, as Grand Valley seems to see something coming on this near side. As that fired all the way down the ice, chipped and into the Lakers zone, into the far corner. Christensen trying to get to it first. Christensen trying to fire it out in front. The puck through the slot. Now banked over top of the near circle in the Lakers zone. Levinson has it. She's pulled off the puck. Lefevre trying to get to it. Now here comes Rubson over her own blue line. Rubson coming down the far boards. Rubson loses an edge. That's going to be a tripping call as Izzy German tried to drop the stick, but not before Rubson went for a spill, and Michigan will be shorthanded. They have the 1-0 lead at 3:43. Michigan shorthanded for the next 2 minutes, barring any other action happening. Face-off is going to be to Ponitz right in the near face-off circle. Gargiulo in to take the face-off. And into the near corner as Hastings puts it right back behind the Michigan goal. Into the far corner, Scram moves it back to the far point to Plowman. Plowman over to McCallion into the far corner of the Michigan zone. Katie German does a good job to try and pop that away. Battle for it back behind Ponith. Now bringing it down the far board. Scram with it. Scram, top of the far circle. Scram in the high slot, moves over to the near point to Ortiz. Ortiz into the near corner. Now it sweeps into the far corner. Katie German trying to pull it away from Plowman. Scram has it high slot in the Michigan zone. Back to the near point for Ortiz with a shot saved by Ponith. Plowman outside the far circle in the Michigan zone. Rubin trying to pull it back. That goes right back behind Ponith. Gathered up there. Banked off of the near boards. Ortiz holds it in at the near point. Shot deflected by Ponith right back behind the goal. McCarthy with it there. McCarthy over to Katie German. 1 minute left to go here in the power play for the Lakers. 1-0 Michigan with the lead. 2:40 left to go here in the first. The puck all the way back. Ortiz has it back in the Lakers zone. Right at the near point. Gargiulo trying to hold it in and kill off more of that penalty shot. Sammy Schultz with the save. Swanson was looking for his second goal, racing up to the crease. 44 seconds left to go in the Laker power play. 2:27 left to go here in the first. Michigan up 1-0. Face off to Sammy Schultz left in the near face off circle in the Lakers end. Malashevsky wins it into the near corner. Angie Schultz with it there, trying to move it down the near boards. And forehand trying to hold it in, but couldn't quite keep it in. That will be offsides, as it just barely slipped out. Face off will be in the near face off circle, just outside of the Lakers end. 34 seconds left to go in the Michigan penalty kill. 2:17 left to go here in the first. 1-0 Michigan with the lead. Scram over her own blue line is Sprott. Now bringing it in. Lefevre outside the near circle into the near corner. Swanson picks it up. That gets right in front of Poneth into the near corner. It's deflected. Lefevre outside the near circle. Back to Sprott. High slot now, top of the near circle for Lefevre. Lefevre coming in, trying to shoot it. As Poneth got a piece of it, driving it outside the far circle. Kolwich trying to tip that away. Sprott on the far circle of the Michigan zone. Poked by Swanson as Michigan back to full strength. Izzy German out of the box. As that puck saved by Poneth, loose on the far circle. Malashevsky trying to get it out of the zone. Now Kolwich fires it. The puck held in at the far point by Broshwitz, and a whistle as a couple players get tangled up. Evans got tangled up with Hancock, and Hancock goes into the box. As interference, the call. As penalty to the Lakers, that at 1:25. And Michigan on the power play. They're up 1-0. Face off in the Lakers zone in the far face off circle. Gargiulo takes it outside the far circle in the Lakers zone, trying to backhand it into the far corner. Plowman gets it back to the far point. Levinson able to hold it in. Now Gargiulo pinned against the boards, trying to get it away from a pair of Lakers. Malashevsky into the far corner of the Lakers end. Malashevsky moves it back over to Proctor. Centering attempt goes all the way through the slot. Evans, top of the near circle, moves it over to Malashevsky into the near corner. 55 seconds left to go here in the first. Michigan up 1-0. Shot by Levinson goes wide. Gargiulo outside the far circle of the Lakers end. Gargiulo comes underneath the far circle. Now cycles it back to Proctor, top of the far circle. Proctor comes high slot. Drop pass for Levinson with a shot that just goes wide. 36 seconds left to go in the first. Michigan up 1-0 on the power play. 1:05 left to go on the Michigan power play. Gargiulo outside the far circle. Gargiulo comes in along the end boards, trying to get it right to Malashevsky out in front. Now a shot. That got deflected. Backhanded shot by Evans all the way back to the blue line. Held in, fired back deep by Levinson in along the end boards. 14 seconds left to go. Now 13 seconds left in the first. Riva has it in the near corner, trying to avoid pressure by Malashevsky. 7 seconds left to go. As a wraparound attempt by Rubin. Puck wouldn't settle down. Rubin chipping away at it. Battle! And that will do it for the first. At the end of one, Michigan 1 and the Lakers nothing. 35 seconds left of the Michigan power play as that heads out into the second. There is a Laker down on the far side of the goal, as that is McCallion, and we hope she's all right as she slowly gets up into a sitting position. Everyone, the music's off as Michigan gathering around their bench, trying to make sure the trainer comes out to try and help McCallion, as it was a scrum right on the side of the net, and I'm not sure all the Wolverines take a knee as everyone battles as hard as they can in this game, but you do not want to see any of these amazing athletes injured. As McCallion gets some help up to her skates. Big round of applause and stick taps from Michigan and this audience as they are helping her. She is not putting anything on. All her weight's on her right foot, and she's kind of moving herself with the left foot. As she gets to the bench, and then hopefully they're able to help her into the tunnel. Michigan heads off to our right as let's take a look at what happened in that second period. Michigan penalty at 10:13 as Rubin went off for tripping. Then it was a Laker penalty at 6:01 as Ulowitz went off for tripping. Then a Michigan power play goal at 5:24 as Lindahl took it from the far circle, moved it to the near circle. Was Swanson fired it in for the Michigan goal. Michigan penalty at 3:43 as Izzy German went off for tripping. Michigan able to kill that off. Then Grand Valley took a penalty at 1:25. Interference. That to Hancock, and 35 seconds of that penalty left up on the clock. Well, let's do our intermission scoreboard report. Then we will play a little bit of the Michigan marching band. Try and see if I can find where I put that tab. That's a problem of having too many tabs open. So action yesterday. Let me refresh this. Oh, it is working. I'm refreshing at the moment because I don't have many scores. There we go. Let's go back to Friday and then back to Saturday. Okay. Action yesterday. No score reported between the Air Force Academy and Wyoming. No score reported between Minnesota and UMass Amherst. We know about the Michigan Grand Valley score. Davenport fell to Concordia. Concordia beat Davenport by a score 8-1. It was Utah putting it on Denver 10-1. No score reported between Colorado State and Colorado. 8-2, Arizona State beat Michigan State, and over in Mullet Arena in Tempe, University of Michigan Dearborn hosted Lake Superior State. They won that one 3-1. That score helping them vault Michigan State into the number 3 spot in the CCWHA West Pod. It was Minot State University beating Jamestown by a score of 6-2. Midland shut out Lindenwood University 2-0. It was Miami University shutting out Aquinas 7-0. Grand Valley keeping a big eye on that series this weekend. And then Indiana Tech swept Adrian College as they win the home part of the home and home 3-1. That is your intermission scoreboard report as you are watching Michigan Women's Hockey, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting. Now let's play a little bit of the Michigan Marching Band. Here at Yost Ice Arena, Michigan 1, the Lakers nothing. as Grand Valley heads out onto the ice. It's trying to see if we can see McCallion out there. Yep, McCallion's out there skating, number 6. So we're very happy to see that, as she wasn't putting much weight on that left leg, but she looks okay. Michigan comes out of their locker room to the right as we're getting ready to go for the second period. "35 seconds left to go in the Michigan power play. So Lakers will be shorthanded for 35 seconds. The officials bring things over again. We'll have our Michigan intermission scoreboard report in the second intermission, as well as go over some NCAA women's D1 hockey scores. As into the box goes Hancock for another 35 seconds. Swanson in to take the faceoff. Matthews to her left, Lindahl to her right. Lefevre on the other side as Broshwitz fires it deep into the Michigan zone. Honitz stops on the far side of the Michigan goal. Now coming into the near corner, here comes Katie German. Katie German bringing it down the near boards of her own zone. Banks off the far boards into the neutral zone. Lefevre fires it right back deep, right behind Poneth. Katie German stops right there behind her own goal. Now a whistle as, the time didn't get, it's up at 1:27, and they're going to try and fix that. I don't think the penalty was coming out there, as they're trying to get reset to 20 minutes, so they'll try and stop that there. Again, it's a fun time. You always have volunteers running the clock, so that is not an easy thing to do, as they tried to get going before the intermission had counted all the way down, and they're having a hard time trying to get it stopped and moved over. And unfortunately, that's not one I know, so I can't really holler down and give any help, as they're just going to try and get that stopped. 20 minutes up on the clock, and now we'll redrop the puck. 35 seconds up on that penalty kill, as I think that was, is that Eliason who hopped over everything? No, someone's climbed up and down the stands to get in there and help out. So appreciate that. Little stick taps to folks getting the clock taken care of, because that's not easy. Now the officials are going to talk things over, and I think they just probably should start the second period over. Otherwise, are they going to try and figure out how much time went off and have them reset the clock and the penalty clock? So now the officials come back. I think they're going to try and get it to run. And now it's going to run, and they're going to let it run for just a little bit. They're going to take the face-off back into the Michigan zone. That's going to be DePonet's right. And they get it stopped 11 minutes in. So 19:49 left to go here in the first. Michigan up 2-1, 24 seconds left on the power play. Quick shot by Broshwitz, save by Poneth. And it's a good job getting the left leg pad on it. Coming ahead, here comes Katie German into the neutral zone. Swanson brings it, gains the Lakers zone. Outside the far circle, Swanson pinned against the boards, back high into the high slot. Over onto the near circle, Katie German chases it. 1 second left to go in the power play. Now the Lakers back to full strength. The puck comes outside the far circle. Swanson, Lindahl with it there, excuse me. Trying to hold it in is Rubin. The puck into the far corner. Broshwitz feeds it all the way around the ice. Ortiz coming down the near boards of her own zone, trying to get it out. Lindahl holds it in. Lindahl trying to move it over. As that pulled out, here comes Ortiz over center ice. Ortiz gains the Michigan zone. Shot just goes wide. Rubin got a piece of it. Now Rubin sweeping it from right in front of the goal. The puck getting along the end boards of the Michigan zone. Rubin takes it right back behind her own goal. Feeds it along the near boards. Goldman trying to get it out of the zone. Held in by Ulowitz. Back to the far point, and that will be a whistle going to be another tripping call as Ulowitz goes into the box for tripping. That at 18:41. Michigan right back on the power play for the next 2 minutes, barring anything else happening. Face off in the near face-off circle in the Lakers zone. Back to the near point as Levinson sends a high slot, gets it back to the near point. Now Gargiulo on the near circle in the Lakers end. Pulled outside the near circle. Proctor leaves it for Levinson. That tip back. Now Sprott racing. Proctor gets in the way. There's going to be a penalty. Interference, the call. And that's probably going to be on Proctor. She goes into the box. So we'll have 4-on-4 hockey for 1 minute 43 seconds. Then there will be a short 17-second power play for the Lakers. Face-off in the far face-off circle. That opponent's right. As the face-off into the far corner and then lifted all the way down into the Lakers zone. That's going to be a shot on goal as Sammy Schultz puts it into the near corner. The puck outside the near circle, bringing it ahead is McCallion. Over center ice is Sprott. Sprott gains the Michigan zone. Sprott, top of the far circle. A good job knocking it away by McCarthy. Comes outside the far circle to Scram. Into the near corner of the Michigan zone. Centering attempt. And knocked away by Levinson into the far corner. The Lakers send it back to the far point. Picking it up, McCallion there. McCallion with a shot, saved by Bonnet. The puck comes outside the far circle. McCallion puts it into the far corner. Good job knocking away a centering attempt by McCarthy and covered up by Bonnet. 17:36 left to go here in the second. Michigan up 1-0. 55 more seconds of 4-on-4 hockey before a 17-second power play by the Lakers. Face off in the far circle of the Michigan zone. That upon its rights. Swanson in to take the face-off versus Lefevre. That comes top of the far circle. Now in the slot. As the shot by Broshwitz wouldn't settle down. In along the end boards, Katie German trying to knock it away. Now Swanson rims it all the way around the boards. That goes on edge all the way back into the Lakers end. Grabbed up by Angie Schultz outside the far circle. Lindahl battling into the near corner. 34 seconds left to 4-on-4 hockey. Angie Schultz underneath the near circle of her own zone. Fires it down the far boards. Rupsum trying to get it out. That held in. Here comes Lindahl on the near circle. Backhanded shot. And scores! Lindahl puts it in as Sammy Schultz was screened. I don't think she saw it coming as there's a player standing right on the near side of the crease. And Lindahl came in and backhanded it through traffic. And a goal by the Wolverines. And at 17:02, Lindahl. We'll see what assists there are on that. But Michigan takes the 2-0 lead. Face off at center ice. Matthews versus Sprott. Snap puck. Tip back to Ortiz at her own blue line. Ortiz coming down the near boards as Grand Valley tries to start the rush. Matthews pulls it away. Unassisted to I thought it was Lindahl. I think they just said Matthews, but I thought it was Lindahl that pulled away all the way back into the far corner. As that picked up by McCalling. McCalling underneath the near circle and pulled back over, held in by Scram. High slot in the Michigan zone. Scram. Drop pass coming in as that steered away from Hastings. Shot by Ortiz from the top of the near circle. That got fired all the way back. Proctor out of the box. Back to 5-on-5 hockey as Proctor picks it up right back behind the Grand Valley goal. Trying to fire it out in front for Simmer. The puck top of the far circle. Proctor feeds it into the far corner. Trying to battle with McCallion as it comes right back behind Sammy Schultz. Trying to come on the inner edge of the far circle. That knocked away. McCallion trying to chip it out of the zone. Rubin holds it in. Here comes the Lakers as they move it back into the neutral zone. Rubin over center ice. Over to Evans, who gains the Lakers zone. Evans, top of the near circle now. High slot. Evans has that tipped away down the near boards. Bringing ahead is Hastings for the Lakers. Tries to get to Scram. Izzy German got her stick in the way, and Michigan comes down the far boards of the neutral zone. Big hit In along the benches by Sprott, and Sprott is going to go to the bench. Or to the box, yeah, forgive me, her own little bench for the next 2 minutes. As would have been a great hip check in men's hockey, but that is not allowed. Roughing the call. As Sprott into the box. Michigan back on the power play. As last goal they scored was on 4-on-4 action. The puck, top of the near circle, Levinson has it in the Lakers zone. High slot for Evans. Back to Levinson at the near point. Levinson feeds it into the near corner. Bringing it around Proctor into the slot. Shot, Malashevsky, backhanded Proctor. Comes back in the inner corner of the near far circle. Gargiulo with the shot. That got blocked by Riva. Back to the near point. Michigan trying to hold it in. Slips back into the neutral zone. Levinson coming down the far boards. Right back into the Grand Valley zone. Levinson, high slot shot. That got deflected. Went off of Hancock as the puck into the near corner. Now top of the near circle. Gargiulo trying to hold it away. Levinson holds it in at the near point. And picked up outside the near circle, trying to fire it out was Plowman. High slot, now over onto the far point for Evans. Evans drives it outside the far circle of the Lakers zone. Swanson coming in. Swanson feeds it into the slot. Shot Gargiulo, saved by Sammy Schultz. Riva sends it back behind her own goal. Riva down the near boards, held in by Levinson at the near point. Michigan with a good power play here, trying to keep extended pressure on the Lakers. As that moved high, slot for Rubin. Rubin onto the far circle. Centering attempt. That went off of his skate. Levinson holds it in at the blue line. Shot there got deflected by Broschwitz's skate into the far corner. Trying to pull it ahead is Matthews. Held in at the far point by Katie German. Her shot deflected and a save by Sammy Schultz. As that deflected out in front and Sammy Schultz somehow grabbed it off of a bounce. That was an impressive save by the Lakers netminder. 14-11 left to go here in the second. 2-0, Michigan with the lead. 34 seconds left to go in the Michigan power play. Face off to Sammy Schultz, left in the far face-off circle in the Lakers zone. Comes right back behind the Lakers goal as Ortiz has it there. Swings it around outside the near circle as Angie Schultz trying to get to it. Now Lindahl into the near corner. That comes all the way back through the neutral zone. Cleared into the Michigan zone as Katie German goes into the near corner. Trying to avoid Angie Schultz as she tips that away. Now Ponnet trying to move it into the near corner. Lefevre providing pressure. The Wolverines over their own blue line, firing it all the way down the ice. Back behind the Lakers goal, picking it up. Ortiz trying to move it down the near boards. Rubin trying to grab it. High slot, slips out. Lakers back to full strength. Katie German fires it back deep. Michigan has to touch up to avoid the delayed offsides. Ortiz coming down the near board, sweeps it down the neutral zone. Rubin knocks it down now. In along the far boards is Kolwich, but they're going to call that a hand pass, and they're going to put it in the far face-off circle in the Michigan zone. Rubin wants a little explanation. And she will go off on a line change. Face-off will be to Ponet's right in the far face-off circle. 13:21 left to go here in the second. 2-1, or 2-0, Michigan with the lead. Sprott in to take the face-off. In along the far boards, held in by Ulowitz. Top of the far circle in the Michigan zone. Sprott with it. Sprott moves it over. Shot on it with the save as Graham took a point-blank shot from the far side of the crease. Coming back into the neutral zone. Plowman knocks down the Michigan pass. Now Sprott gets it back into the Michigan zone. The puck down the far boards. Ulowitz chases it into her own zone. On the far circle in the Lakers end, moves it over along the near boards. The puck loose on the near circle. Sprott takes it back behind her own goal. Now moves in front of her own goal as she lifts it into the neutral zone. Gathering it up, Kolwich at center ice. Kolwich trying to feed it ahead. Goldman trying to pull it away. Christensen now chasing it as that puck comes right back to the Grand Valley blue line. And wouldn't settle down for Ulowitz as it's fired deep into the Lakers' end. 12:28 left to go here in the second. 2-0, Michigan with the lead. As that puck bounces through the slot in the Lakers' end. Ulowitz firing it down the far boards of the neutral zone. Scram comes in, fires a shot into the far corner of the Michigan zone. McCallion outside the far circle. Here comes Michigan trying to get it out. Held in by the Lakers. As that into a high slot, backhanded into the neutral zone where Ortiz gathers it up right at center ice. Ortiz fires it back deep into the Michigan end. Poneth stops it back behind her own goal, picked up by Kolwich. Kolwich feeding it ahead, tipped away from Ortiz, sliding into the neutral zone. Now coming ahead is Simmer. Simmer gains the Lakers zone. Simmer trying to get to Matthews. That knocked back to the far point, but Evans holds it in. Now Simmer with a shot that got blocked by Hancock. Held in at the near point by Izzy German. Swung right back behind the Lakers goal into the far corner. That pulled away by Angie Schultz. Angie Schultz comes down the near boards over her own blue line. Angie Schultz through the neutral zone. Gains the Michigan zone. Angie Schultz outside the near circle. Angie Schultz centering attempt. That goes right through the crease outside the far circle. Simmer tips it all the way back out into the neutral zone. Ortiz at her own blue line. Moving it down the near board. Staby trying to get to it. Michigan deflects it right in front of the scorer's bench. Here comes Evans. Evans in the Lakers zone. Evans shot from the near circle. That deflects all the way along the far boards. Trying to grab it. Gargiulo, top of the near circle for McCowling. And puck wouldn't settle down. Now into the near point. Gargiulo fires it all the way around the boards. Right back behind the goal into the near corner. Michigan has it in the Lakers' end. Gargiulo outside the near circle. Ortiz takes it, banks it back behind her own goal, in along the far boards. Giebeck trying to get it out of the zone. That held in by Proctor. Now fired back to the near far point. Levinson holds it in there. Right back behind the Lakers' goal. Moved in along the far boards. Giebeck has it there. Giebeck moves it over to Hancock. Hancock over her own blue line. Coming down the far boards. Levinson moves it right back into the Lakers' zone. Levinson feeds it, top of the far circle. Here comes Gargiulo with a shot and a score! Gargiulo puts it in, making it 3-0 with a blast from the far circle. That won it 10-13. Gargiulo with a wicked shot from the far circle. And Sammy Schultz, not much she could do about that. And Michigan takes the 3-0 lead. Face off at center ice, 10-13 left to go here in the second. Malashevsky versus Lefevre at center ice. As that puck along the far boards, Lindahl trying to get to it, but it's knocked into the Michigan zone. Forehand moves it right back behind the Michigan goal. That deflects out in front. Shot somehow Poneth with the save. Michigan tried to move it back behind their own goal, and it deflected and came right out in front. And there was a shot deflected over to the near side, so puck right in the slot. Shot came off to the near side. There was an empty net, and somehow Poneth got in front. Both of these goaltenders have had some amazing saves. As that puck. Here comes Lindahl in with the shot and a score! Lindahl comes all the way down and makes it 4-0 Wolverines as she skates in right in front of the crease and fires it in. I was trying to hear the assist on the last goal, and Lindahl just made that a moot point and came down and fired it in at 9:48. Michigan with 3 goals in the third to take a 4-0 lead, and it's a timeout by the Lakers. We'll play a little bit of the victors. You're watching Michigan women's hockey, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting. Michigan with the 3-goal explosion here in the second to take the 4-0 lead as Michigan scored at 17:02. Lindahl put it in, and then Gargiulo scored at 10:13, and then at 9:48, Lindahl got her second of the game from Malashevsky. Face off right at center ice. Lefevre gets it to the Michigan blue line. McCalling sends it in along the far boards. Puck loose and that whistle, and that'll be a stoppage in play. 9:41 left to go. They're going to face off again at center ice. As the puck all the way back into Michigan zone through the slot, tipped away. Michigan trying to get it out of the zone. Kolwich moves it back over, coming down the near boards. Firing it in is Ceballos. The puck ricocheted back into the Michigan zone. As they move it down the far boards, fired ahead, trying to tip that is Rubin now. It goes back deep into the Lakers' end. Ortiz right in front of her own goal. Over to Rubsum with the one-toucher. Coming down the near boards, Lefevre has it outside the near circle of the Michigan zone. Upcoming, there is going to be an interference call. At 9:05 as Kolwich goes into the box. For interference. Michigan will be shorthanded for the next 2 minutes. 9:05 left to go here in the second. 4-0, Michigan with the lead. Face off. DePonitz right in the far face-off circle. Matthews in to take the face-off versus Lefevre. As that puck into the far corner of the Michigan zone. Levinson fires it all the way around the boards outside the near circle. Evans trying to fire it back deep. That held in at the high slot by Sprott. Sprott as it pulled away. Now Matthews backhands it deep into the Lakers zone. McCallion goes back into her own end, goes back behind her own goal, sets up shop there as Matthews trying to make it difficult for the Lakers to leave their own end. Now McCallion down the near boards over her own blue line. McCallion through center ice. McCallion gains the Michigan zone, fires it right back behind Poneth into the far corner. McCallion still with it outside the far circle, gets it high slot, and moved over as Lefevre with a shot from the far circle in the glove, saved by Poneth. 8:23 left to go here in the second. 1:18 left to go in the Michigan penalty kill. 4-0 Michigan with the lead. Face-off to Ponetz left in the near face-off circle. Rubin to take the face-off. Katie German to her left. McCarthy to her right. Broshwitz in to take the face-off for the Lakers. That puck outside the near circle. Plowman drops it back to Sprott at the near point. Sprott fires it. That banks off of the end boards. Katie German trying to knock it away. That puck, Scram has it underneath the near circle of the Michigan zone. Fires it back to the near point. Sprott outside the near circle as Rubin trying to fire it. Held in by Ortiz. Shot. Broshwitz has it on the far side of the goal. Chipping away off the far side of the net. Now Broshwitz underneath the near circle. Fires it over Ortiz in the slot. That knocked away. Now Rubin trying to clear it. Wouldn't go all the way out. Scram with a shot that goes just wide. Outside the far circle. Simmer trying to tip it. Simmer gets it all the way back into the neutral zone. As the Lakers will reset at center ice. Sprott feeds it ahead right to the Michigan blue line. Ortiz has it taken away. Now Rubin fires it back deep with 28 seconds left to go in the Laker power play. 7:30 left to go here in the second. 4-0 Michigan with the lead. Sprott knocks it off the near boards as the Lakers over their own blue line. Plowman tips it into the Michigan zone, but that fired right back in along the end boards of the far boards of the neutral zone. Here comes Swanson. Swanson with a shot that just goes wide into the near corner of the Lakers end. Backhanded right back behind Sammy Schultz. Now on the far circle coming in. Wouldn't settle down for Swanson. Moves it top of the near circle for forehand with a shot that just goes wide. Gathered up. Broshwitz feeds it all the way back into the neutral zone. Grand Valley back to full strength. The puck deflects into the far corner of the Michigan zone. Sprott with it there. Sprott back behind. Now coming along the far boards. That tipped. 5-on-5 hockey. 6:40 left to go here in the second. 4-0 Michigan with the lead. The puck outside the near circle of the Michigan zone. Fed ahead. That tipped all the way back. Icing waved off. Lindahl chases it back behind the Grand Valley goal. Lindahl, 2 goals, looking for the hat trick back at the near point. Now Malashevsky, centering attempt. Swanson's shot went off of defender's leg. The puck back to Izzy German at the near point. Izzy German shot. She couldn't get all of it. That goes into the far corner where Malashevsky will collect it. Malashevsky on the far circle. Now Lindahl goes back behind the Grand Valley goal. Lindahl trying to fire it into the slot. That pulled away. Now coming ahead the other direction are the Lakers. As Levinson has it in her own zone, goes back behind her own goal, fires it down the far boards. as Hancock holds it in at the far point in the Michigan zone. Knocked away by Swanson. Shot and covered up by Poneth. 5:45 left to go here in the second. 4-0, Michigan with the lead. 3 second period goals. Right now, as the standings are, these two teams would face each other in the CCWHA playoffs in the first game at 5:30 on that Friday. Really hard to beat a team 3 times in a season. As coming down, here comes Proctor. Proctor gets ahead to Katie German. Katie German gains the Lakers zone into the near corner of the Grand Valley zone. The puck outside the near circle, bringing it ahead. Ortiz over on blue line. Ortiz puts it deep into the Michigan end. Katie German trying to pull it away as Ortiz right back behind the Michigan goal. Now Gargiulo comes underneath the near circle of her own end. Gargiulo trying to bank it ahead. Broshwitz sends it outside the near circle. The puck loose and along the near boards, now pulled back away. Lifted all the way into the neutral zone, racing ahead. Here comes Proctor. Proctor trying to get to it in the slot. Proctor on the far circle. Shot just goes wide, back behind the Laker goal. The puck outside the near circle in the Grand Valley end. There's Gargiulo trying to get to it. That fired all the way down the ice. Forehand races back deep into the Michigan end. Hits it in the far corner, sends it back to the far point. Held in by Broshwitz. Broshwitz on the far circle of the Michigan zone. Good job to get a stick in the way by a Michigan defender. The puck loose outside the near circle. By the way, that was Kolwich who stopped that attempt. Kolwich underneath the near circle, fires it ahead. Michigan down the far boards of the neutral zone. Bringing it ahead is Christensen. Christensen on the far circle. Christensen with that shot. Saved by Sammy Schultz. 4:22 left to go here in the second. 4-0, Michigan with the lead. Grand Valley trying to chip away at it, get some momentum going. Michigan trying to not give them any life. Face-off in the far face-off circle. That to Sammy Schultz left. In the Grand Valley zone. Matthews in to take the face-off. Lefevre looks like she'll be on the other side. Now here comes the face-off in along the far board. Simmer trying to get to it. Now Matthews poking away at it as the puck lifted by Grand Valley to the far point. Held in by Matthews as she puts it on the far circle. Ulowitz fires it around the boards. Rubsum has it outside the near circle of her own zone. Into the near corner of the Lakers zone. Sprott fires it all the way around the boards. Izzy German holds it in at the far point. Izzy German, puck wouldn't settle down. Here comes the Lakers racing ahead with it. It's Lefevre. Lefevre into the Michigan zone. Lefevre, and knocked away. Saved by Poneth. Still battling away. As Poneth able to keep the puck out. As the net came off of its moorings. 3:46 left to go here in the second. Face off in the Michigan zone. As there is going to be a Michigan player, McCalling, getting called for a penalty, hooking the call. That at 3:46. Michigan on the penalty kill, face-off in the air circle of the Michigan zone. At the Poneth's left, McCallion in to take the face-off. Levinson in the near corner of her own zone. That comes, trying to poke it away, pull back. McCallion out into the slot. That deflected all the way back outside the near circle. Plowman with it there. Back to Scram at the near point in the Michigan zone. Scram with the shot. That put into the far corner. Rubsum, centering attempt. Rubsum had the lone Grand Valley goal yesterday. Plowman sends it deep in along the end boards of the Michigan zone. Scram has it underneath the far circle. Scram fires it back, top of the far circle to Ortiz. Ortiz sends it high slot. That slips past into the neutral zone. McCallion trying to fire it right back in. Here comes Plowman at the near point of the Michigan zone. Swanson trying to knock it away. Now McCallion fires it over onto the far circle for Rubsum. And comes all the way back to the near point. Ortiz trying to put it deep onto the near circle. Coming in, Scram sends it high slot. Plowman with the shot. Again, a save by Poneth. Into the far corner. And pulled. Here comes Levinson back behind her own goal. Levinson And along the near boards of Michigan zone, trying to get it out of the zone. Ortiz fires it back deep into the far corner. Rubsum outside the far circle, 45 seconds left to go in the Michigan penalty kill. 2:28 left to go here in the second as that puck fired into the slot. Now Malashevsky puts it all the way back. Michigan up 4-0 here in the second as Lefevre brings it down the far boards into the Michigan zone. Lefevre on the far circle with a rising shot. That comes all the way back to the near point. Trying to hold it in is Sprott. Sprott over to Lefevre, who drives it into the slot shot, and they score. As they fire it, trying to see who put it in as it got deflected, and they put it just onto the far edge, as that's going to be Angie Schultz, who scored the goal. As it was good puck movement by the Lakers. Angie Schultz power play goal at 2:02. Grand Valley goal on the power play. As Grand Valley moved the puck around and found Angie Schultz just on the corner of the goal on the far side. That puck back into the Michigan zone. As it's outside the far circle, Lakers trying to now build on that momentum. Michigan gets it down the ice. Proctor moves it into the Grand Valley zone. That fed over to Hancock down the far boards. Hancock fires it all the way deep into the Michigan end. 1 minute, 39 seconds left to go. That will be icing and head back into the Lakers zone. 4-1. Michigan with the lead. Lakers with the last goal. Angie Schultz getting it down to a 3-goal game. Face-off in the far face-off circle. That to the left of Sammy Schultz. Sprott taking the face-off. Christensen trying to get it in along the far boards. Now into the far corner. So Sprott got one of the assists. Sounds like there were 2 assists. I only caught one of them. Again, the ACHA game sheet will have everything as that brought all the way back to the far point in the Michigan zone. Michigan over their own blue line, coming down the far boards of the neutral zone. And fired quickly the other direction. Battle for it right at the Michigan blue line. Ceballos brings it back deep into her own zone. Ceballos stops underneath the far circle of her own zone. Now forehand trying to move it ahead. Christensen gets it into the neutral zone. 1 minute left to go. Here comes Ceballos. Ceballos has that knocked away. The Lakers start to rush the other direction. Sprott on the near circle of the Michigan zone. Sprott into the near corner. Kolwich knocks that away. Now Hancock trying to centering attempt. The puck loose. Hancock with the shot. That sticked all the way outside the far circle by Pontiff. Christensen trying to get it out of the zone. Plowman keeps it in at the far point in the Michigan end. And chipped outside the far circle. Matthews with it. Matthews moves right back behind Pontiff. 27 seconds left to go here in the second. Now down the far boards, racing ahead. Christensen trying to get to it. Plowman picks it up outside the far circle of the Lakers zone. Right back into the neutral zone. Michigan has to touch up, and that is offsides. As Evans didn't see Christensen, hadn't gotten off into the bench yet before Evans went into the zone. 14.4 seconds left to go. Here in the second, 4-1, Michigan with the lead. Face-off in the far face-off circle. And it's outside the Lakers zone. Hastings versus Matthews. Brought in by Evans. Evans. And brought back into the neutral zone. McCalling has it. Top of the near circle of her own zone. 5 seconds left. 4 seconds left. 2 seconds left. 1 second left. And that will do it for the second. Michigan scores 3 in the second, but the Lakers score last as it's Michigan 4 and the Lakers 1. Let's play a little bit of the victors. over the action here in the second, as it was at 18:41, a penalty to the Lakers as Ulowitz went off for tripping. Then it was a Michigan penalty at 18:24 as Proctor went off for interference. Then a Michigan goal at 17:02 as it was Lindahl. Lindahl with a goal. And at 17:02, should have been shorthanded as well, I believe, and it was, so I'll put that down there. Then the Lakers took a penalty at 15:37 as Sprott went off for roughing. Then a Michigan goal at 10:13 as Gargiulo fired it in. I couldn't hear the assist because as soon as they're doing the announcement for the Gargiulo goal at 9:48, here comes Lindahl skating in and fires it in as she cuts across the crease. Malashevsky with the assist on that one. Michigan penalty at 9:05 as Kolwich went off for interference. Then Michigan took a penalty at 3:46 as McCalling went off for hooking. Grand Valley had a goal at 2:02 as that was put in by Angie Schultz. One of the assists was to Sprott. I believe there was another one, but I couldn't quite hear it. That was a power play goal for the Lakers. As we head into the third, it is Michigan 4 and the Lakers 2. Well, it is the second period, or the second intermission, so let us do a Michigan scoreboard report. As let's see, I think this flipped all the way back to January. We want to look at action from yesterday. Here we go. So yesterday in men's golf, Michigan was at Indiana and beat Indiana 3-2. Men's track and field and women's track and field were at the Mayo Invitational non-scoring event down at Notre Dame. Women's tennis took on number 19 Oklahoma State at home and beat them 6-1. And men's golf, it was a 3-2 win at Big Ten Match Play Championship versus Northwestern. In water polo, Michigan lost 15-12 to Cal, that over at the Stanford Invite. In men's gymnastics, Michigan beat Nebraska at number 4 Nebraska 408.200 to 406.650. In ice hockey, Michigan finished off the sweep in a crazy game here at Yost Ice Arena last night. It was 5-2 at the end of the first with a goal waved off due to a major penalty on a review that Coach Naranjo called the review for. Michigan ends up winning 7-4. Go check out the box score of that game. It was crazy. Then in water polo, Michigan lost at number 1 Stanford 14-4. In action today in women's golf, they are Michigan is at the Guadalajara Invitational down in Guadalajara, Mexico. In water polo, Michigan lost at the Stanford Invite to number 10 Arizona State 7-6. In men's tennis, Michigan beat number 18 Harvard 4-3. In men's basketball, Michigan beat Ohio State 77-69. That just back behind us at Chrysler Arena. In water polo, Michigan beat number 17 San Jose State at the Stanford Invitational 6-4. And in women's basketball, they're playing at Michigan State. Nothing here. Let me try and see if I can refresh that and see if I can catch what was happening. That pulls all the way back. Every time I refresh it, it pulls back to January, and I'm not sure why. Let's click on the box score, see if we can get something. Something's going wrong. So no score in that Michigan State women's basketball game. I'll see if I can find that somewhere else. Let's do a little bit of NCAA women's hockey D1 scores. As on Friday, it was Quinnipiac shutting out Dartmouth. Princeton beat Harvard by a score of 3-2. By the way, Quinnipiac beat Dartmouth 8-0. It was Sidholm beating Bemidji 3-0. Minnesota Duluth beat Minnesota State 4-3. It was boy, I need to find a different site. Some of these abbreviations I am befuddled by, so I'll work on finding a different site. We'll play a few of those as I'm up on the NCAA site, and that's fantastic. But apparently, I don't know abbreviations for teams as well as I thought I did. Go figure. Let's see if the Nope, that's not going to be what I want. Anyway, okay, well, we'll play a little bit of music. It is the second intermission, so you know what time it is. It's time for I Can't Turn You Loose.
Well, good afternoon and welcome once again to the Michigan Amphitheater. You know, so much of the music we hear today is this pre-programmed electronic disco. You never get a chance to hear master bluesmen practicing their craft. By the year 2006, the music now known as the blues will exist only in the classical record department of your local public library. And so, this afternoon, while we still can, let us welcome from Ann Arbor, Michigan, Gary Lewis and his blues band. Gary Lewis and his blues band.
as I was able to find, first of all, the Michigan women's basketball score. Michigan women beat MSU 77-67 up at East Lansing at the Breslin. Now, and I did find a lovely, wonderful site that has abbreviations I understand. Every time I think I'm smart. But here's the women's D1 NCAA hockey scoreboard for yesterday. Penn State beats Syracuse by a score of 4-1. It was Mercyhurst shutting out RIT 3-0. Final in overtime as St. Lawrence beat Cornell 3-2. It was Yale doubling up Rensselaer Polytechnic 4-2. Brown beat Union 2-0. It was Princeton beating Dartmouth 2-1. Colgate shut out Clarkston 2-0. In the NEWHA, it was LIU tying Stonehill 2-2. Final in overtime. St. Michael's beat Elysium St. Elysium beat St. Michael's 5-4. It was Franklin Pierce beating Sacred Heart 7-1. Ohio State beat Minnesota by a score of 5-1. It was a scoreless game, final in overtime between Minnesota Duluth and Minnesota State. Bemidji State beat St. Thomas 4-1, and it was Wisconsin beating St. Cloud State 3-2. Let's see if I don't believe there's any scores today, but let's double check. One score today, New Hampshire beat Holy Cross by a score of 7-4 as Michigan coaches out across the way. We are getting ready to go here in the third as it is Michigan 4 and Grand Valley 1. Michigan scored in the first at 5:24 as that was Swanson from Lindahl. Then Lindahl had a couple goals sandwiched on either side of a Gargiulo goal in the third. Lindahl scoring at 7:02 in the second and should have been shorthanded. Then it was Gargiulo scoring at 10:13 for Michigan. And then Lindahl again from Malashevsky at 9:48 for the Michigan goal. Grand Valley answered back at 2:02. It was Angie Schultz from Sprott and one other that I didn't get. And that's where we stand, 4-1. Michigan with the lead as both teams come out of their locker rooms for the all-important third period. Michigan going from left to right here in this third period as Sammy Schultz gets set up to our right. Officials talking things over right in front of the scorer's box. Both squads around their coaching staffs are on the bench. Last minute instructions. As they are about 20 minutes up on the clock as we're getting ready to drop the puck at center ice. Matthews in to take the face-off. Simmer to her right, Evans to her left, forehand. And Levinson on the blue line. Sprott on the other side, McCallion to her left. And Scram to her right. Michigan up by 3 goals, trying to finish off a weekend sweep with an opponent they may well see in the first round of the CCWHA playoffs. That puck in along the far boards of the neutral zone, sent to the Grand Valley blue line. Now bringing it ahead down the near boards is Angie Schultz. She scored last. There's a shot by Sprott that went back behind the Michigan goal in along the far boards. Evans sweeps it along the glass. That loose in the neutral zone, trying to pull it ahead. Here comes Michigan as Matthews down the near boards, backhands it deep into the Lakers zone. Angie Schultz gets it back, top of the near circle. There's a blast by Simmer, and she scores! As it came back to the near circle, then fed Simmer sitting right in the slot between the circles with a one-timer that blasted it in. And Michigan takes the 5-1 lead as Simmer perfectly set up. And boy, that had to be something where Sammy Schultz's eyes had to get big as she saw that coming. She just couldn't get there quick enough. Excellent positioning. But there's a goal at 19:28 as Simmer puts it in for Michigan. The puck Grand Valley has it at their own blue line, moving it over. Riva in along the near boards, gets it back into the neutral zone. Lefevre gains the Michigan zone outside the near circle. That puck. Matthews and forehand on the assist on that goal as the puck right at the far point in the Michigan zone. And brought back and fired all the way down the ice into the Lakers zone. As that puck in along the end boards, Riva has it back behind her own goal. Proctor trying to knock it away. Now Lefevre goes back behind Sammy Schultz and along the near boards. Rubsum over on blue line coming down the far boards of the neutral zone. Sends it back as Ponitz stops it. Ends up being a shot on goal. Coming down the far boards is Kolwich. Kolwich banks it off the near boards of the neutral zone. Grabbed by Hancock at her own blue line and fed back deep into the Michigan end, but that will be icing. And head back into Lakers zone. 18:28 left to go here in the third. 5-1 Michigan with the lead as they answered back. A late goal in the second by Grand Valley. Simmer putting a sizzler right back into the Laker goal. And now it's 5-1. Face-off. Malashevsky in to take the face-off versus Hancock in the far face-off circle in the Lakers zone. There's Levinson, shot from the high slot, knocked down as the Lakers get over their own blue line. Nope, Levinson able to hold it in. Puts it deep in along the end boards. Angie Schultz back behind as Michigan has to touch up. That brought back. Coming down the near boards. Into the neutral zone is Angie Schultz. Into the Michigan zone. Now that chipped ahead by Lindahl. Lindahl gets it from Swanson. Lindahl top of the near circle into the slot. As that comes outside the far circle in the Lakers zone. Izzy German with a shot from the far point. And it comes right back behind the Lakers goal into the near corner. There's a shot by Lindahl looking for the hat trick. Saved by Sammy Schultz. Now Angie Schultz takes it underneath the far circle of her own zone. Tipped into the far corner by Quebec. Now fired all the way outside the far circle. Swanson trying to poke that away as that comes. Ortiz puts it into the near corner of her own zone. Staby battling Levinson outside the near circle as Angie Schultz trying to pull that away as well as it rims right back behind Sammy Schultz. The puck to the blue line. Michigan holds it in and fired back by Ceballos into the far corner. And battle for it in along the end boards in the Lakers zone. Trying to pull it away is Goldman. Now Christensen trying to peel that away. Quebec coming down the far boards of her own zone. Sends it, banks it off the near boards into the neutral zone. Right back to the Lakers blue line. Here comes Christensen right back on the near circle of the Lakers zone. Shot! That deflected off of Angie Schultz. Gathered up outside the far circle. And pulled away from Hancock. Christensen keeps it into the Lakers end. Now Staby ricochets it all the way back into the Michigan zone. Racing, Katie German trying to get to it before scram. Katie German into the near corner. Moves it over to Christensen, top of the near circle of her own end. There's a whistle as Katie German goes into the box as holding the call. That at 16:33, so Michigan penalty puts the Lakers on the power play, face-off in the near circle in the Michigan zone. Lefevre puts it back, top of the near circle. Sprott couldn't get everything on that shot, and it's cleared all the way down the ice by Matthews. 1 minute, 50 seconds left to go in the Wolverine penalty kill. 16:20 left to go here in the third. Angie Schultz has it coming down the far boards of her own zone. Now Lefevre through center ice. Lefevre puts it deep into the Michigan zone, into the near corner. Lefevre goes right back behind the Michigan goal. Lefevre sends it back to the far point. Now Broshwitz goes high, slot, moves it, top of the near circle for Lefevre. Lefevre over to Sprott. That went off of Simmer's skates. Back behind. That pulled over Lefevre outside the far circle of the Michigan zone. Gets it to Sprott. Sprott feeds it into the near corner. Angie Schultz with it there. Back to the near point for Lefevre. Lefevre sends it high, slot for Sprott. Sprott racing in. Poke checked away. Great job by Izzy German. Then backhanded by Matthews. All the way down the ice into the Lakers zone. 1 minute left to go on the Lakers power play. 15:30 left to go in the first. 5-1, Michigan with the lead. Broschwitz over own blue line. Broschwitz down the far boards into the Michigan zone. Broschwitz on the far circle. That pulled away. Here comes Michigan down the near boards as Rubin puts it back into the neutral zone. Ortiz in her own zone gets it back. Ortiz over own blue line. Moves it over. Sprott trying to avoid pressure by Rubin. Sprott right in front of her own goal, moves it to Ortiz down the near boards. Again, Rubin trying to make it difficult for the Lakers to leave their zone. Ortiz over on blue line, comes down through center ice. Ortiz gains the Michigan zone, top of the far circle. Ortiz goes back behind Poneth. Now on the near circle, Ortiz with it, comes high slot. Ortiz feeds it onto the far circle. Scram with a shot. Saved by Poneth, and Poneth covers it up. 8 seconds left to go. Here in the Laker power play, 14:41 left to go in the third, as it is Michigan with the lead, 5-1 on the Grand Valley State Lakers. Face-off is going to be DePontis left in the far face-off circle, as McCallion in to take the face-off versus Malashevsky. McCalling trying to pull it away as that puck underneath the near circle. Scram has it over to Roopsum with the shot, just went through the crease. Battle for it, trying to cover it up is Poneth, and able to get a glove on it. Scramble out in front, and Poneth did a good job to cover that up. 14:27 left to go here in the third. As Michigan back to full strength. Face-off in the far face-off circle. Malashevsky trying to win it. Now here comes Lindahl. Lindahl comes over center ice. Lindahl gains his own. Lindahl top of the near circle in the Lakers zone. Shot! Blocker saved by Sammy Schultz as the puck into the far corner. Trying to pull that away. Lindahl pinned against the boards. Here comes the Lakers over their own blue line. Coming down the near boards is McCallion. McCallion feeds it ahead to Scram. Scram has that pulled away is Izzy German ahead to Lindahl. Lindahl into Lakers end. Lindahl outside the near circle into the near corner. Lindahl goes back behind Sammy Schultz. Fires it. Malashevsky on the far circle. She has her stick lifted, and then that fire by Sprott back to the near point. Lindahl outside the near circle in the Lakers zone. Comes right back behind the goal. Now underneath the far circle, firing it back to the far point. McCallion with a shot saved by Sammy Schultz into the near corner. Pulled away. McCallion has it back behind her own goal. McCallion feeds it over the blue line. Now fired by Schramm all the way back to the Michigan blue line. Michigan quickly ahead. Swanson feeds it, but Ulowitz has it just inside of her own zone. Knocked away. Coming ahead. Here comes Christensen. Christensen into the far corner of the Lakers zone. Now Goldman trying to pull it away. That puck comes right back outside the near circle as McCarthy stops it at the near point. Shot and pulled back by Plowman into the near corner of her own zone. Goldman trying to knock it away. Goldman underneath the near circle. Goldman has that lifted all the way back to the blue line. McCarthy gets it over to Levinson, top of the far circle. That shot just goes wide outside the near circle. Back to McCarthy at the near point. McCarthy outside the near circle to Ceballos. Ceballos gets it into the near corner. Now, trio of players trying to dig away at it. Hancock comes back behind her own goal. Hancock underneath the far circle of the Lakers end. That brought back to the blue line. Hancock into the neutral zone. Stolen away by Ceballos, but fired back outside the far circle of the Michigan zone. 12:21 left to go here in the third. 5-1, Michigan with the lead. As intercepted at center ice. Broschwitz gains the Michigan zone. Broschwitz into the slot, poked away. Good poke check by Evans. That pulled down the far boards. Here comes Michigan over their own blue line. That moved over to Christensen. Christensen has that stolen away by Angie Schultz right at her own blue line. Roopsum to the Michigan blue line, but that poked away. The puck getting along the near boards of the neutral zone. Angie Schultz right in front of the scorer's bench. Into the near corner of the Michigan zone it goes. Gathered up by Katie German, who fires it down the far boards. Over the blue line, that's sent into the Lakers zone. Picked up by Broschwitz, moves it over to Lefevre down the near boards of the neutral zone. Lefevre over center ice. Lefevre gains the Michigan zone. Drop pass right at the near circle, pulled away. Simmer gets it all the way back. Saucering puck into the Lakers end. McCallion takes it back behind her own goal. 11:23 left to go here in the third. 5-1, Michigan with the lead. Forehand, top of the near circle of her own end, fires it down the near boards of the neutral zone. McCallion fires it right back deep in along the end boards. Katie Jurman back behind Ponith, trying to avoid pressure by Scram. That puck on the far circle, shot there, saved by Ponith, loose in the slot. That pulled away by Evans. Evans gets it back into the neutral zone where Riva collects it. Riva sends it down the near boards, pulled away by Simmer, trying to get around Plowman. Now Scram has it on the near circle of her own zone. Scram puts it back into center ice. That picked up. Coming ahead with it is Forehand. Forehand gains the Lakers zone. Forehand with a shot. That got blocked out in front by Lefevre. The puck to the far point. Gargiulo trying to fire it back in deep. Gathered up. Riva back behind her own goal. Riva banks it off the far boards. Here comes Lefevre. Lefevre into the neutral zone. Proctor trying to fire it right back in. Now McCallion has her pocket picked at center ice. Down the near boards. Here comes Proctor. Proctor over to Rubin. That's stolen away. Sprott down the near boards. Sprott gains the Michigan zone. Sprott makes a move on the near circle. Shot. Saved by Ponith. Good move by Sprott to get a good open look. The puck at the far point. Riva trying to hold it into the Michigan zone. Michigan battling, gets it out back into the neutral zone. That gathered up. Proctor trying to fire it ahead. Rubsum over center ice. Rubsum down the far boards. Fires it back deep as Ponith steers it into the near corner. 9:44 left to go here in the third. 5-1, Michigan with the lead. Michigan fires it down the far boards. That'll go deep into the Lakers zone, but it'll be icing and head back into the Michigan end. Five to 1, Michigan with the lead. 9:34 left to go here in the third. Lakers got a goal in the third, that with 2:02 left. But Michigan answers back just 32 seconds into the third. And that's where we stand, 5-1. Face-off in the near face-off circle. In the Michigan zone. Sprott puts it in along the near board. Sprott at the near point with a shot. That goes into the far corner. Swanson gathers it up there. Swanson into the neutral zone. Lindahl picks it up at center ice. Lindahl into the zone. Gets it top of the near circle. Malashevsky with the shot. Sammy Schultz puts it into the near corner. And puck loose on the near circle. At the near point. Trying to hold it in is Swanson. Here comes Lindahl. Lindahl comes back behind the Laker goal. All the way back to Levinson with the one-timer. That one just goes over the crossbar. Now Malashevsky on the near circle trying to feed it into the slot. Malashevsky with the shot. Again, a save by Sammy Schultz. The puck outside the far circle. Swanson with the shot. Sammy Schultz another save. The puck outside the near circle. Here comes Ortiz over the blue line. Ortiz through center ice. Backhands it deep into the Michigan end. 5-1, Michigan with the lead. 8:38 left to go here in the third. The puck to the Lakers blue line. Pulled back by Ulowitz. Ulowitz sends it ahead as bouncing puck into the near circle of the Michigan zone. Levinson down the far boards. Levinson feeds it ahead. That all the way back into the Lakers end. Riva chases it into the far corner. Christensen pins the puck there. Christensen trying to get it in along the end boards. Now that pulled away by Broshwitz, who comes from the far side to the near side, back behind her own goal. Broshwitz into the neutral zone, down the near boards. Broshwitz into the Michigan zone. Broshwitz back behind Ponith and into the slot. Broshwitz on the near circle shot. That loose in the slot, tipped back. Broshwitz again gets it. Riva with a shot from the far point deflects right towards the official. And gathered up, pulled back behind, rimmed around the boards. Right back to the near point. Here comes Michigan as it comes over their own blue line now. Right back in as Lefevre has it. And McCarthy coming ahead as that, I believe, was a delayed offsides. Coming down the near boards is Christensen. Christensen puts it back deep. 7:28 left to go. Here in the third, Angie Schultz. Right in front of her own goal. Now comes right back behind Sammy Schultz. Angie Schultz trying to avoid pressure by Matthews underneath the near circle. Rubsum down the near boards. That deflects into the slot. And pulled over. Knocked back by Angie Schultz into the neutral zone. Lefevre had it as Matthews tried to fire it back deep, but that got knocked off of a Laker defender. Sprott has it in the Michigan zone on the far circle. Comes into the slot. Shot, and Sprott with the goal as she goes just underneath the crossbar. as these Lakers will continue to battle as they get it back to a 3-goal lead by Michigan, 5-2 at 6:57. As Sprott put it in. Five to two, Michigan with the lead. Face off at center ice as Gargiulo trying to win it back. The puck in along the far boards, fired deep into the Michigan end. Kolwich picks it up back behind her own goal. Unassisted goal by Sprott as that slips back to center ice as Ortiz fires it right back into the near corner of the Michigan zone. 6:38 left to go here in the third. The puck back into the neutral zone. Angie Schultz sets up, fires it down the far boards. Ortiz trying to get it into the Michigan zone, but battle for it in front of the Michigan bench. Kolwich lifts it into the neutral zone, all the way back into Lakers end where Angie Smith sets up. Top of the far circle, over to Sprott down the near board. Sprott, that deflected. Now Angie Schultz feeds it down the far boards. Ortiz through the Michigan zone into top of the near circle with Michigan zone, now into the near corner. And collected, coming down the near boards. Fed ahead by forehand, then fired right back the other direction by Plowman. And top of the far circle coming in. Trying to pull it back as Grand Valley puts it into the near corner of the Michigan zone. That was McCallion. Gargiulo the other direction. Fires it to Rubin. Now here comes Lindahl. Lindahl into Lakers zone. That pulled away by Lefevre. Lefevre puts it down the near boards for Riva. Riva over on blue line. Trying to feed it right back in at Swanson. Now Lefevre over center ice. Down the near boards. Lefevre gains the Michigan zone. Lefevre on the near circle. Lefevre backhanded shot into the near corner. Scram sends it top of the near circle. Broshwood's shot just goes wide. As Grand Valley with some big pressure here in the third. Matthews brings it ahead. Matthews over on blue line. Coming down, that fired back in deep. Excuse me, that was Malashevsky. Now back behind. Swanson puts it into the near corner. Pull back away by Broshwitz. Broshwitz back behind her own goal. 5 minutes left to go here in the third. 5-2, Michigan with the lead. The puck, Izzy German has it at her own blue line, down the near boards of the neutral zone. Izzy German puts it into the Lakers zone. That'll come in along the end boards. Plowman sets up right back behind her own goal. Malashevsky providing pressure. Goldman outside the far circle. Goldman in along the end boards. Plowman knocks that away. Now that fed right to the blue line. McCarthy trying to hold it in, but couldn't. Michigan has to touch up. Lefevre coming over center ice. Lefevre into the Michigan end. Lefevre top of the near circle with a shot that just went wide. As that covered up, Hastings with a wide angle shot, knocked away, but Grand Valley still with it. Shot in the slot, moved over. Christensen over on blue line, comes down the near boards. Here comes Goldman, who fires it back deep as she goes for a line change. 4 minutes and 3 seconds left to go here in the third. 5-2, Michigan with the lead. Evans outside the far circle in the Lakers zone. Evans trying to peel that away into the far corner. Centering attempt all the way back to the near point. Held in by Katie German. Katie German shot and a save by Sammy Schultz. Angie Schultz has it underneath the far circle of her own zone. Out into the neutral zone it goes. Gathered right back up and fired back deep by Katie German. 3:35 left to go here in the third. 5-2, Michigan with the lead. The puck in along the end boards of the Grand Valley zone. Into the near corner. Plowman trying to pull that away now. Hancock and Plowman trying to dig it away from Lindahl. Evans in there trying to poke it away. Hastings trying to get her stick in there as well. Underneath the far circle, the puck back high slot. Katie German tried to line up a shot, but the puck wouldn't settle down. Here comes Matthew with the wide angle shot. That got knocked down, and there is a injured Wolverine, as that looks like Evans down on the edge of the near circle. She is slow to get up. She slowly gets up, and good to see Evans is all right. We don't want to see, again, any of these players injured. We're very glad to see McCallion, who was injured at the end of the first, has been out there playing. 3:07 left to go here in the third. 5-2, Michigan with the lead, trying to close out a weekend sweep over Grand Valley State. 2 more games left in the regular season. as it will be 3:30 next Sunday, Michigan versus Concordia here at Yost Ice Arena. And the Sunday after that, please come on out for the regular home game as Michigan versus Michigan State, live from Yost Ice Arena. Here comes Ruben, who fires it back deep into the Lakers zone. Right back behind Sammy Schultz. Angie Schultz trying to get to it. Gets it over to Ortiz coming down the far boards of her own zone. Ortiz into the neutral zone. Ortiz has Gargiulo knock that away, but that gathered up by Scram. Scram has it poked. Here comes Proctor. Proctor gets it into the Lakers zone. Proctor leaves it top of the near circle as that sent right back into the neutral zone. Kolwich back to her own blue line. Kolwich gets it ahead to Proctor. Proctor moves it as Grand Valley gathers it up at their own blue line. Ortiz down the far boards, feeds it deep into the Michigan end. 2:25 left to go here in the third. 5-2, Michigan with the lead. Angie Schultz drifts back into the Lakers zone, gathers up the puck right in front of her own goal. Half fed ahead, McCallion down the near boards of the neutral zone, over to Scram. Into the far corner of the Michigan zone it goes. Levinson has it there. Levinson underneath the near circle of her own zone. Levinson ahead to Lindahl. Lindahl down the near boards. Over to Swanson. Swanson has it just outside the near circle. Trying to pull it away is Ulowitz. As that brought back to the blue line. Held in by Izzy German. Knocked off of the near boards in the Grand Valley zone. And sent back right in front of the scorer's bench. Now brought in. Sprott has it in the Michigan zone. Sprott ever dangerous into the near corner through the slot. That comes along the far boards of the Michigan zone. Swanson out into the neutral zone. 1 minute, 30 seconds left to go. Lindahl in the near circle into the near corner in the Lakers zone. Fires it out into the slot. Here comes Izzy German with a shot. That got caught in Sprott's skates. Sprott gets it to the near point. Izzy German trying to fire it over to Lindahl. McCallion has it. McCallion fires it into the neutral zone. 1:13 left to go here in the third. 5-2, Michigan with the lead. Scram has it knocked back out into the neutral zone. Ulowitz fires it into the Michigan end. That put right back to Christensen down the near boards. Christensen gains the Lakers zone. Drop pass over to Goldman. Goldman comes high slot. Knocked away from Goldman, but Katie German with it. Now backhanded shot and a save by Sammy Schultz. 49.1 seconds left to go. Every time they get that point in there, I start to have issues. 49 seconds left to go here in the third. 5-2, Michigan with the lead. Cevallos puts it outside the far circle. Ortiz trying to dig it outside the far circle in the Lakers zone. Still digging, still battling. 40 seconds left to go here in the third. The puck right back behind Sammy Schultz. Angie Schultz fires it outside the far circle. Now Rubson trying to get it out of her own zone. Rubson sends it to center ice. Here comes Angie Schultz into the Michigan end. Angie Schultz underneath the near circle, puts it out in front. Backhanded shot, loose, still loose on the far circle, now pulled away. Katie German fires it all the way down the ice. 15 seconds left to go here in the third. Pulled back behind as the Lakers to their own blue line. Rubson trying to get it in front. 7 seconds left to go. 5 seconds left to go. Christensen drop pass over to Evans on the near circle in the Lakers zone. Into the near corner, and that will do it. Michigan gets the sweep as they beat the Lakers 5-2. As they will be back in action next Sunday at 3:30 versus Concordia of Ann Arbor. We would love to see you there. If you can't, we will have the broadcast. For my camera person, Christina Wiseman, my name is Mark Wiseman. Thank you. Whichever team you are cheering for, wherever you are at, thank you for supporting these amazing athletes, this wonderful sport. If you ever want to reach out to us, it's arborbroadcasting@gmail.com. Thank you, and have a fantastic rest of the day. Here's a little bit of the yellow and blue.